Kenneth. It's me again. Just reading some very important news that came to my house mail. That actually didn't come to my house. It came to, well, this person is obviously such a good friend. It came to Nathan's house, the place out on 15, the big house, not the trailer we lived in, but the actual house. So you know it's from somebody very important. And her name is Elizabeth Jackson. And I think anything that Elizabeth says to me is pertinent. She wants to let me know that there's a wonderful new eye doctor in Watkinsville, dear Oconee residents. We're like this. And she talks about this Dr. Nelms, and he's met her expectations and exceeded them. Now, I'm not really sure how an eye doctor exceeds your expectations, because basically they put you in that masky thing and say, better like this or like this. But unless you're like, you know, Sammy Davis Jr., then it's take it or leave it. Anyway, so this came in the mail, fascinating. More exciting news, Kenneth. Dyeing Terry's hair purple. I won't tell you how I was able to convince him to do this, because this is, just in case your nephew is watching, you know, I need to keep it clean. But I'm dyeing his hair purple. I'm not sure about the beard yet, because the hair is going to come out dark purple. The beard might come out violet, which would be a little strange. But it's the university, so they're used to that kind of stuff, although they may frown on it. And I'm not talking about the professors, I'm talking about the students, because the students at that university, fairly conservative, kind of boring. I saw a bunch of them on Thursday night. I went to Sister Louise's church, you know, that bar across from Shokatini, the world's most expensive sushi restaurant. And there was a drag show. I went because a friend of mine does drag. I say drag because that's what they call it. They're called the courtesans. Isn't that clever? S-I-N-S, sins. And you know, I love drag. Jenna and I always pick the winners for RuPaul's Drag Race, which starts, the new season starts on Thursday. So I hope you have Hulu or Netflix or whatever those kids are calling those channels these days, so you can watch RuPaul's. We always choose the winner. And so I've seen a lot of great drag. And then when I worked in Las Vegas, not San Marino, something Marino, not Dan Marino, he's a football player. Something Marino had all this plastic surgery to look like Joan Rivers. Imagine that. And then he had all of these drag queens that would come and lip sync. And they were incredible. They looked like Cher. They looked like Patti LaBelle. One guy had his nose done, and he did Michael Jackson. Both of these people, Michael Jackson and Joan, dead now, but I don't know what happened to their careers. Anyway, so I'm used to seeing good drag. This was very bad drag. The lip syncing, not good. The choice of music, not good. And the padding, Kenneth. I mean, you know, when you pad, it's supposed to look like a woman's body. One of the drag queens was wearing a skirt so short that when she bent over, you could see like the inside of a couch. And she didn't need it. I mean, she was a round fellow to begin with. A round drag queen to begin with, I should say. But she had this, like, that foam stuff that you put inside that, what's that yellow foam stuff? What's it called? The yellow foam stuff that you put in, Terry, what's it called? That, not styrofoam, but some kind of foam. She had it here, and when she bent over, you could see under her pantyhose, XXXL, by the way, you could see the padding, which wasn't good. They were not good drag queens. I was very disappointed, but my friend who does the drag was so thrilled and so excited that I pretended that it was good. See, because I'm an actor, and I do that, I pretend. You have no idea how many things I pretend about. I am now going to help out Tommy Valentine, who's running for county commissioner. I'm up on my politics. Opportunity and justice for all. Amen. Eat the rich. So I told them that I would MC any kind of fundraisers that they have. And I went to Tommy Valentine meet and greet at Gwenna Looney's house, which was incredible. Her husband has these portraits of everybody all over the wall. They're amazing. Her house is, it's tchotchked out is what it is. And oh, she gave me, I don't have it in front of me, she gave me a calendar, a countdown until Donald Trump is out of office calendar, because I was wearing my, I have my jackets over there, my big impeach button that I've had since George Bush, so it's almost vintage, like me. I'm almost antique. Actually, 100 years to be antique, 20 years to be vintage, so my daughter's vintage. It's a scary thought. My daughter and my grandson are coming here on Wednesday because Jake has to go to training. And Leon, genius that he is, now knows many, many more letters. And he says D, M, M. And I showed, Jenna was helping me to put the last video onto YouTube so I could send it to you. And I showed it to him, and I have a confession. I didn't show it to him, Jake and Jenna did, because I sent it to her in Statesboro. I know I'm babbling a little bit. I haven't eaten today, which is why I'm drinking a smoothie. All I'm allowed, smoothies and steamed bark. That's what I'm allowed to eat in this house. Hang on. All my servings of fruit, just like having a V8. Anyway, so Jenna took the video and figured out how to get it onto YouTube, and so she and Jake showed it to Leon, and my confession is that they call you Uncle Kenny. Now I know you don't like that, but that's what they call you. And apparently Jake said, Uncle Kenny, Kenny, and Leon went, which is close, I think. Kenny. There was a dog barking. The dog's been barking a lot. It's been freezing cold here. Not like New York cold, but very cold, as I think I told you last time, because I'm so boring that all I can do basically is talk about myself and the weather. That's my life. Me, the weather, and the fact that I've begged everyone that I know to take me out to dinner. I'm going out to dinner tonight, as a matter of fact, while Terry prepares his dinner, which is a steaming pot of green. That's his dinner. Green that he's going to have over some sort of rolled oat. Doesn't that sound inviting? No oil, no animal product, no butter, nothing like that. Just green and rolled oat. It's tragic what's happened to me. I mean, you know, this is his choice. See, it's so tragic that now like my elbows are falling off things. It's tragic that this is what my life has devolved. As I did discuss with you, I think on the very first video, that that Terry is a plant-based vegan. He's, instead of his whiskers growing, little green sprouts are coming out of his chin, like, you know, mung sprouts, or, see, mung sprout. That'd be a good Leon word, mung! Yeah, mung sprouts, and that's why one of the reasons I'm dyeing his hair purple, because purple and green are a lovely combination, I think. But I always liked blue and gold when Nathan was a Cub Scout. Nathan was a Cub Scout, but by the time I was ready to be a Brownie, my parents said no. They said, my mother said it was a fascist organization, which is why I was in therapy for many years, because, you know, my mother, she denied me a lot. Mostly she denied me approval, which is tough. She denied me approval. You know the story of when I was pregnant and I said to my mother, I think I'm going to have a baby. And she said, don't have a baby. And I said, why not? And she said, because you don't know if he'll marry you. And I said, well, if that's what you're worried about, I mean, he'd marry me tomorrow. And she said, and why is he in such a hurry? And I said, let me get this straight. Do you want to be a grandmother? She was 80 at the time. She said, I'm the oldest woman I know who's not a grandmother. I said, well, how am I going to do this if you don't want me to have a baby, but you don't want me to get married? And she said, just tell me to shut up. And I said, all right, shut up. Actually, I said, shut the fuck up. But, you know, she's used to that language. She was. Rest her soul. She was crazy. I loved her. She was wonderful, but insane. And she could never say anything nice to me. You know, when I did my 4th or 5th episode of Seinfeld, I called her and I said, Mom, I just got a phone call from Seinfeld. They asked me to do, I just banged my finger again. And I bruised so easily. You can't see it, but I have a bruise right here. I don't know why. Punching Terry. That's what it's from. I said, I said, Mom, they called me at home. They didn't even do it with my agent. They called me at home to do my next episode of Seinfeld. And she said, well, dear, I hope you're not going to play that same part. Which started me spiraling into a depression that has lasted now, I don't know, 25 years? I mean, I was depressed before that, but after that, there was therapy, drugs, nothing helped. It's, you know. When you do that kind of damage, it's in your DNA, as it is. I'm babbling. I need to bathe and get myself ready to have dinner with people who believe in oil. They believe in oil. And I believe in oil too. I'm going to drink this smoothie. I wish it had vodka in it. It doesn't. But I'm going to drink this smoothie and I'm going to think of you like I do every day. I love you to pieces. and cheers.